In this episode, we head down to Jacksonville, North Carolina to an 87-unit park we bought 4 months ago, and we're in the middle of the first stages of a major expansion project. So stick around, things are about to get real. This is the journey of two real estate investors from Staten Island, New York, who travel the country looking for mismanaged, undercapitalized, and run-down trailer parks.
We invest capital and our time to turn these parks around and make our communities better.
These are our stories.
Morning, Frank.
5:19 in the morning. Eric is late. We're on our way to Jacksonville, North Carolina to take a look at the new park that we're about to buy. We're going to visit one of our current assets in Jacksonville. Pull a U-turn in the RV. Squeeze into the middle aisle. He comes this close to hitting it. Now the gas station's packed. He comes this close to hitting this woman's car, and this woman starts to look at him. I'm like, oh my God, we're gonna end up on the news. And I go out there, can you believe it? Like I just start acting all crazy. Can you believe him? Look at him. I told him he's so stupid. So now I make her start laughing, right? And everybody else starts laughing. I'm like, we just averted a fucking crisis. I'm gonna show you this video.
I don't know how I did that.
I don't know how we did that. I'm just like, I'm like, what do you want to get?
Teriyaki. I'm just gonna get one piece of that.
Organic coconut clusters, like fruit bars.
Did you know, statistically speaking, price values of homes go up in value when they're near a Buc-ee's?
We just bought this Buc-ee's. We had pennies on the dollar. We can't wait to put a couple of mobile homes in the parking lot. Create affordable housing, retail, mixed-use development.
And that's for the permitting.
When you're buying one of these old parks, you're a lot of times getting older infrastructure that was not put together with a master plan. We knew that. While we're putting in the new homes, before the new homes get placed, we want to update the water and sewer lines, which we had marked out, to make sure that we don't have any challenges. Once the new homes are set, they have new infrastructure in place, and we're not going to have to go back and redo some infrastructure work after our home is set up, impacting the resident and stopping us from moving forward on our plan. Better to do this first before the homes are there, get the work out of the way, have a fresh, clean slate to work with, and give us better opportunity to move forward with the project ahead. But knowing these issues ahead of time is super important.
But the line that's over here goes to that house over yonder, goes across yonder.
So you'd be able
It
to.
runs across yonder, horizontal, goes over that way. Also.
Got it. Okay, but for this line right here,
Yeah.
and for this line right here, it's a straight run PVC.
Yeah. So say the line yonder, that we did a straight line here. Where that road yonder turns, that road yonder, there's a line underneath the line this way.
Got it.
Or down below the ground. But
Got
that sewer line yonder, when the water line's tied across over this way, and some of it goes across there, those across over yonder goes. They got sometimes, I had one line over here, years back, they leaked over here, but we bought that off and placed for it.
That was Daniel Jones. And you might be wondering why Daniel Jones is working with us. Because a lot of times when you buy a park like this, there's always that one guy who is doing the maintenance work for years, who knows where all the fixes were made and knows where all the bodies are buried. And that's Daniel at American Way. So we've got him on the payroll as we're doing this infrastructure play to work with our contractors and to give them the insight that he has over yonder.
I guess 5 on the exterior here, 1 on the inside. Obviously, we want to face the dumpsters. Yesterday, we had somebody dumping mattresses in there.
I had to yell at someone 2 days ago because he threw the trash bag and it exploded. And I ran out and I was like, excuse me.
So setting up cameras, I mean, we have, shared trash containers, but, most of these people out here, seem to think it's a dump, and they put furniture and mattresses, and, what ends up happening is, we have to pick it up, our team has to pick it up. So You know, we're setting up cameras here now. We're gonna have a 12-camera system.
She's writing down the notes because at the end of the day, as much as we talk about everything, I mean, the only way you're gonna remember is if you talk about it, you write it down, you read it again later. So she'll write it down, she'll take the notes, we'll put it into teams so we can review it, and then we'll make sure that we're all on the same page.
Termite?
No, pine beetles. And if you come out here about another month from now, you come out here and you stand right here about 7 o'clock at night, you'll hear them eating. I'm serious.
We've had terrible experience with trees. Trees cause nothing but issues, and we have to spend tons of money fixing these issues. We've had tornadoes. What happens? Trees get knocked down, they hit homes. We've had roots breaking pipes, water lines, nothing but problems. We got to dig these up. When you have limbs hanging over these trees, what happens when there's a storm? They hit the homes. A lot of times people don't have insurance on these homes. Who has to pay for it? Especially if somebody don't have money. We have to pay for it. Super important. When you buy a community, you cut back all the trees, all the limbs from over these homes.
Okay, what's happening is, that's pine beetles, okay?
Nice.
Eventually, you'll see the top of the tree will start dying.
Got it.
Because what the pine beetles do, they actually, they make channels up under the bark.
Okay.
And the sawdust falls down, and then the nutrients don't get to the top.
Well, listen, I'd rather get it down now.
I don't mean it's gonna fall today or tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I don't mean it's gonna look bad. Eventually.
Okay. You know, every time we buy a community, we always look for people locally who you can find. We try to bring the people that we've worked with before. One of the best things about buying American Way was that we found this gentleman, Carl Sutton, from Sutton's Tree Service. He's done a phenomenal job in cleaning up this community and, I mean, essentially making it look a lot different in a very short period of time. Take it away.
Well, I had very good experience with these folks. They showed me what they needed, and unfortunately, I was resourceful enough and that we could get it done. I definitely welcome them from New York down here to our home.
We met with a contractor right now. What we want to do is redo the front of the park, make a community center with mailboxes that are centralized, new signage, and a drive-through from one side of the street to the other so people can go through under a gazebo, collect their mail, and move forward. Part of that is in planning, so we've had talked to the engineer before. This contractor is giving us some different feedback, so we're going to get to the bottom of it, figure out what needs to be done so we can keep making the changes we need to at American Way.
I just thought of another major benefit to that. You make it a little bit wider and you put some sitting shelters there. School kids to come in, the school bus can come right through here, and the kids have a little bit of a shelter in case it's raining or whatever. And
they'll love
they got
that.
it safe, so they can pull in here, pull right back out there. They're not going into the park because you don't really want them parking out there on the road with the school bus.
So we want to make it. We also want to make it a school bus shelter for the kids.
If you sell this as a selling point, it won't be a problem.
Love it, love it. I didn't even think of that. Great idea.
All right, so you're gonna work up a proposal, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I just need to know how many feet we need to measure out and how wide we're going to measure.
You know, we come down into these towns down south, and one of the most important things you can do as a community owner or a new property owner in town is develop a good relationship. Right now, we're developing a great relationship with a gentleman who was on the planning board at some point for the city. He knows a lot of people down there. These local communities, people know each other. Very good to do business with local people in these communities.
We purchased American Way 4 months ago. We're in the process of a major overhaul of a mom and pop trailer park and turning it into a beautiful new affordable housing community. Stage 1 is filling the 42 vacant lots that were there on site, improving the infrastructure so we can expand the park for another 125 brand new homes. But to do that, we've got to turn this park around and turn it into the community. We've got to pave roads, we've got to clean it up, we've got to get rid of miscreants, and we've got to make it someplace where people are going to want to live. So stay tuned as we continue to turn around American Way.
On the next episode of Trailer Park Turnaround.
Before you put down rock, try fixing the problem with water. This property is probably the worst property that we've purchased. We have basically no one paying here. Planning on handing out 19 evictions.
Residents of Jacksonville Village, this is now a Park Haven community. Everything's okay? Yeah, because all that stuff stops. I'm not having all this traffic here anymore. Yeah, you understand?